Millions more people will be eligible for housing grants. Let's have a look. Good evening, everyone. Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein and let's have a talk about what's been announced over, I think, the last couple of days and what viewers have brought to my attention. If you're a regular of the channel, you may have noticed that I've started to become quite bitter and cynical with regards to housing affordability and it ever being addressed here in Australia. I'll often make the point that there's no political will to address housing affordability. The challenges that we're facing from the Ninbin crowd, they're quite politically powerful. They might vote one way at a federal or state election. They might prattle on about housing affordability on social media, but then they'll go and protest anything addressing it near them. And, well, you've got the perma bears, people who are just waiting for property to crash, who think it's a bubble that has to fall, and are just hoping, sitting there on the sidelines. But it's not a laissez-faire market, guys. There's a lot of support. There's a lot of pillars supporting that housing sector. There's a lot of vested interest in keeping the status quo going. So let's have a look at this one, because honestly, I'd say this is just another argument, or another support for my argument that there's no political will to really address housing affordability. All it has to do is sound good. And that's probably enough for the people to buy it. So this is from 9 News. Millions more to become eligible for first housing grants as government extends the criteria. So more people will be able to get the government stimulus to buy into housing. And you think, the normies will think, fantastic, that's opportunities for more people to get into houses. The Ninbins will think, that's great, more chance for people to get into houses. Remember what happened with Home Builder? We had the government giving us all 15 grand at a minimum. You just had to do an extension or build a house. What happened? What happened to house prices in the housing market then? Just let me know in the comments, guys, while I have a drink. Did houses go up? I don't remember. Did the market overheat? Yeah. So here's more. Well, it's an extension of an existing scheme, essentially an increase in stimulus to a particular sector, and we all know what it's going to do. It'll win the votes. People will think it's a good idea, but I get that the average Aussies just must not understand it, eh? The impact of this. So home ownership will soon be in closer reach for millions more Australians as the federal government expands eligibility for the Home Guarantee Scheme in a bid to tackle the housing crisis. Under this is what I've been saying. This is all the federal government can really do. They just chuck money at it. I love seeing on Twitter all the people bitching and moaning about ScoMo built no public housing. Public housing's built at a state level. And who's been running the states, guys? Under one of the changes, friends and family will be allowed to team up to buy a first home, as the definition of the word couple will be changed for those who are married in de facto relationships to any eligible individuals from July 1. So any two people can get together and buy a house together. Why not any business? Oh, boy. Federal Housing Minister Julie Collins has told Weekend Today the eligibility expansion is about moving with the times. See, it's not about actually addressing housing affordability. It's about political gesturing and catering to their base. Because, who were voting for Labor and the Greens? A lot of them are wealthier now. The inner city, suburban, working class, or no, I wouldn't say that. More bureaucratic class. I wonder how many of them even need this. Well, it's just for the kids. Median property prices, we can see, Sydney's come down. Oh, look at that crash. Yeah, but it's still insanely bloody high. That's the thing. What we're doing here is widening the eligibility criteria. What we want to do is support more Australians to get into a home. It's particularly for those who have been long-term renting or those who are having difficulty overcoming the 20% mortgage deposit threshold. We need to accept that different people are doing different things to get into home ownership, and that is what today's changes are about. Under the scheme, the federal government acts as a guarantor, making up the majority of a loan for prospective buyers. What? Oh, great. Shit. This is sounding just like that. It's heading down the American path, isn't it? Lenders' mortgage insurance is also waived. What are the changes and how will they work? So the first home guarantee, which supports eligible first home buyers with a deposit as little as 5%. Family home guarantee, which supports eligible single parents with a deposit as low as 2%. Now, remember when these all came out? We've seen articles about, not articles. Reddit posts from people who have got these 2% deposits who are screwed, complaining, and don't know how they're going to make do. But, I mean, people didn't really think it was going to be any different with Labor, did they? It's funny when I see some of them that think it was. I guess that's just the learning, isn't it? Just experience. Regional Home Buyer Guarantee, which helps regional buyers crack into the housing market. The Family Home Guarantee is currently only open to single parents with at least one dependent child. Under the new changes, this will be extended to single legal guardians of children from July 1. It means guardians of children such as grandparents, aunts, uncles, or foster carers will become eligible. Why do you want a Okay, this is going to be sounding really mean, but as someone as a grandparent age, how old are you going to be? 60 plus? How long are you going to have to pay off a loan? Australian permanent residents will also be included in the expansion instead of just citizens. The scheme will also widen to people who haven't owned a property for 10 years, helping those who lost their home in financial crisis or relationship breakdown. Yeah, I mean, that's not that crazy an idea. You're not going to see a huge increase in that. But in general, the whole scheme is the problem, guys. So let's have a talk about it. So we've got a housing crisis in Australia, got a rental crisis in Australia. It's not going to end anytime soon. What's the federal government doing? The Prime Minister there is down in Hobart about a new stadium, and people are protesting about housing affordability, even though it's a state issue, but they're yelling at the PM, probably because they can't appreciate a new AFL stadium. But I don't think this is all federal can do. They'll just keep chucking more money at it. They're just going to make it worse. They don't have the balls to do what's necessary. I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm not even surprised. Guys, it's just going to make it worse, isn't it? Anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. Sorry, I'm a bit... I've been sick for the last couple of days, and I'm slowly getting better. I've had a very sore throat. I've been sleeping a lot. And during that time, I have been thinking about this. Well, and I've been watching tutorials on Hearts of Iron 4. But here's an interesting consideration here in Australia, and this is something I've mentioned many times before, and I'm sure a lot of the young men would agree with me. How many of them do you think would be willing to fight for this country if push comes to shove? Or how many of them would leave? If you can't even own a home, there's no prospect of even owning a bit of the dirt and raising a family here. So while I'd argue housing shouldn't be a human right, housing for your people, affordable housing for your citizens of your nation should be a national priority. Because that's pretty much what makes your nation. It's where people live. We're not nomads. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. Are you at all surprised this is what's happened? I'm not at all. As always, check out HeiseBim or Heise Does. If you want to support us, you can via our YouTube, referral links, pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, have a great day, and I'll see you later. Take care. I need to go back to bed. I thought I was better than this. I think I need another nap.